Have you ever heard of a prisoner so important, so secret, that for 34 years, no one was allowed to see his face? This isn't a movie plot. It's one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, the story of the man in the iron mask. Our story begins in 1669, in France, during the reign of the Sun King, Louis XIV. A mysterious prisoner is sent to the fortress of P. His orders were strict. He was to be held in total isolation, and his face was to be perpetually covered by a mask not of iron, as the legend says, but of black velvet. For over 3 decades, this man was moved from prison to prison, including the infamous Bastille in Paris, always under the watch of the same jailer, Benigne du Berdnay, the Sun Mars. Who was this man? Why such extreme measures? The secret was so well kept that it sparked centuries of speculation. The prisoner was treated surprisingly well. He had fine meals, books, and even a lute to play. But if he ever tried to speak to anyone other than his jailer or remove his mask, the guards had orders to kill him on the spot. When he died in 1703, he was buried under the name Mar. All his belongings were burned. His cell was scraped clean, and the walls were whitewashed, erasing every trace of his existence. But secrets like this don't die easily. The most famous theory, popularized by the writer Voltaire and later by Alexandre Dumas in his novel, is that the prisoner was none other than the identical twin brother of King Louis XIV. Imagine the political chaos. A secret twin could become a rallying point for rebels, a rival claimant to the throne. Imprisoning him for life, with his face hidden, would have been the ultimate solution to protect the king's power. It's a dramatic, fascinating idea, and it explains the extreme secrecy and the respectful treatment. If he was royalty, you couldn't just execute him. But is it true? Historians have pored over documents for centuries, and other theories have emerged. Could he have been a disgraced general who knew a state secret? Or maybe a foreign diplomat who learned something he shouldn't have? Some have suggested he was Eustache Dauger, a valet involved in a political scandal. Another candidate is Count Orcoli Antonio Mattioli, an Italian diplomat who betrayed a secret treaty with France. His name is very close to the burial name. Marcaili, right? But Mattioli's imprisonment was public knowledge, which doesn't quite fit the secrecy. Each theory has its clues and its holes. The twin brother theory is the most compelling, but there's no solid proof. The French government at the time did everything in its power to wipe this man from history, and they almost succeeded. They created a blank space, a ghost in their own records. What we are left with is a powerful symbol. The man in the iron mask represents the absolute power of a king, the nature of identity, and the haunting reality of a life lived in complete anonymity. A man whose name, face, and story were stolen from him. For 34 years, he was a living secret, and even centuries later, he remains one of history's most enduring enigmas. What do you think? Was a long-lost twin, a disgraced noble, or someone else entirely? Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed diving into historical mysteries like this one, make sure to subscribe for more. See you next time.